myself again. It's okay. Like I did on the pier. Today is the 28th anniversary in which Marsha departed from this earth and gained her wings. If nobody knows, right here across the street is the Stonewall Inn. This is where the first brick was thrown by Marsha. And that's where, I don't like to call it a riot, I like to call it a rebellion. That's where the rebellion took place. That's where she put her fist in the air and said no more, that trans people will start getting the respect and getting the rights that they deserve. When Marsha passed away, I was only 3 years old, so I don't know her personally, but she lives in me. I'm an activist from New Jersey. I go up and down the state of New Jersey, all across this country, protesting and advocating not just for trans lives, but for black lives and LGBTQ lives all across this country. I told the people earlier who was down at the pier, and I'm going to say it again, we don't give Marsha or Sylvia, but this is about Marsha right now, we don't give Marsha enough credit that she's due when it comes to the liberation of LGBTQ rights, when it comes to trans rights. We need to understand that when Marsha was standing up for the rights of LGBTQ, particularly trans people, that there were also division within the LGBTQ spectrum, to where they wouldn't even allow her or Sylvia to speak at the first Gay Pride March, because there was so much discrimination and hatred towards the trans community, and we have to stop that. We have to stop it. Still to this day, there is division amongst the LGBTQ community, and there's still division amongst the African American community when it comes to LGBTQ African American people. I said it on the pier, and I say it now. I'm speaking the T out. LGBTQ rights don't matter unless the T in it, which stands for trans rights, matter. Black lives don't matter unless black trans lives matter. We can't say black lives matter if we're not including our trans brothers and sisters, if we're not including our lesbian brothers and sisters, our gay brothers and sisters, our bi brothers and sisters. This is a cohesive movement that we all have to stick together and be as one. Marsha P. Johnson, Marsha P. Johnson is the mother of this movement. She is the mother of the LGBTQ community. And we have to let it be known how much of an impact that Marsha has on this movement. We have to let her family know how much she meant to this movement and to this community to this day, even 28 years later after her death. We're still fighting the same fight that Marsha was fighting for us years ago when she threw that first brick. We're still fighting the same fight today. This should be a Marsha P. Johnson Day, not only in New York City, but around this country. Around this country. Yes. Around this country. If we can't talk about LGBTQ rights in these school systems if they're not going to talk about Marsha P. Johnson, because she is the movement of the LGBTQ. I'm not going to be long. But I am going to say trans lives matter. Marsha P. Johnson life matter. Nina Pop life matter. Tony McDad life matter, and there's a countless, I can go on and on as far as the list is concerned of trans lives who lives matter, whose names are not being spoken. And as long as I have breath, their names are going to be spoken. As long as I have 2 feet to walk, I'm going to march in their name. I'm going to always march in their honor, because if it wasn't for those 2 ladies that were hanging up on that wall, I wouldn't be standing here today. So thank you again, and trans lives matter, and Marsha P. Johnson. Hey, no mom.